This is a build guide slash demonstration slash just kind of showing it off, I guess. And what this is a at the minute level 89 Lich. I was gonna be a Abyssal Lich, but I messed up the Kulamak fight, so that's no longer possible. But uh, I'll go straight into it. So it's a typical kind of minion, kind of like Lich layout. Um, Here, since it's mostly just grabbing kind of damage nodes, minion health nodes, um, extra shield as well, shield especially. It's kind of our only means of protecting ourselves with this setup. Um, Important nodes, other than, of course, what I'm just kind of circling around now, is Expendable Army, because this is going to be utilizing the new ward ability. I think it's called Verisium Manifestations, which are just kind of companions which kind of spawn based on if you hit them. But what's interesting about that is, since I'm a minion build, I don't have any actual attacks of my own. Uh, this the curse ability, which is socketed to my blasphemy, repulsion, acts as my attacks. And so in my presence, my area presence, which that curse is utilized, and so around the circle circumference, that's they're affiliated with that curse. And when my skeleton, my reavers mostly, attack them, it unleashes an explosion. And what that's doing is, since it's cursed, it's unleashing the Verisium Manifestations. Now, I didn't come up with this at all. I just found a small little video online, and I wanted to utilize this element into my own build, and so far it's going quite well. Um, but other than that, that's just the passive tree kind of setup. It's mostly just like, if you've seen a minion build, it's very similar to many of these. Just kind of picking out energy shield where you can get it, minion damage, especially crits as well. Minion crits, resistances on your these six nodes here, except for this one. I don't have this one yet. I had it earlier, but I swapped it out to get Expendable Army. Uh, these six nodes are very vital. I hadn't seen. I think these are new from the 0.5 update, but I highly recommend experimenting a lot with these. But other than that, your nodes are mostly going for energy shield or minion damage slash chaos related minion damage. Um, then for the full ascendancy, I have all four of my points unlocked. So I have, of the 8 points, mostly just going down the tree here into Blackened Heart and necromantic conduit, in order to get Unholy Might for my minions, which is I believe up to, I don't know. I think the base value is 30% on 30% extra chaos damage that my minions can do. Following that, I have Blasphemy before Rupture of the Soul is going to interact with this explosive sort of the explosive war ability I was talking about earlier, which is talking into Blasphemy. So it's basically, if they die from that explosion or they die from any means, it's also another chance that there's an explosion of chaos damage on their body, 33% chance, which makes mapping into super quickly. Very much like it. This is just more energy shield and more energy shield here for leftover points that I didn't really need. I'm sure there's other kind of setups you could do with other ascendancies, namely the Infernalist, if you want more kind of just a larger quantity of summons. It's probably possible, but I just decided to go along with this. Now for the actual skills, Malice from my Scepter. It's obvious. It just increases crit chance. The skills for Reaver, I personally like them. They're fast. They're cheap enough. I have them maxed out with their support gems. Feeding Frenzy, just for more damage. Heft for more damage. Minion Splash. This is a new gem from 0.5, and this is phenomenal. I love this. So it's a reason I never personally want to do a minion build is because of how slow they feel when clearing. Because obviously it's only they were doing a single target up until this update, I believe, for melee characters. So that's brilliant. Rage Tree and rapid attacks. Next is Verisium Manifestations. These are the ward kind of summons, temporary summons. So for these I have Feeding Frenzy, Chain, because they kind of have like a projectile kind of attack. Heft for more fizz, they do fizz damage, strangely enough, and attack speed. No, I had a Brute in this, I got rid of it though. For the Skeletal Cleric, I had two, but I have one at the minute. I'm trying to get my Spirit up in some way later when I get more divs and I can afford it. In the meantime, I have just one, which is doing me fine. What I highly recommend is this node here. So Bruce's Brain. So minions from support. This gem here is Bruce's Brain. Minions from supported skills cannot be damaged. Minions from supported skills do damage. This is perfect for the cleric since he does obviously do damage, but also ensures that he cannot die either. Blasphemy. I explained this quite haphazardly earlier, but in my presence, my area around me, I am afflicting repulsion, which when they get hit by my minions, it counts as an explosion, which counts as my hit, which unleashes Verisium Manifestations. And that's all the skills, really. Some of these I've filled out, but I'm not really using them at the minute. They're quite irrelevant. And I think lastly now to discuss is just the gear, which is very, I would say, quite expensive. This is my first kind of high-end build, costing me, I think, like a dozen div, and that's excluding like all the experimental kind of stuff I kind of wanted to try out, which ended up being a lot of a big waste sometimes. Most important thing, of course, here is the Omen Scepter. Particularly, this one here cost me 10 divine, namely because the 150 spirit allies in your damage presence is self-explanatory, and the +4 to all levels of minion skills, which is increasing my overall damage for my minions. Excellent. Very expensive though. You could probably budget this down a bit at the cost of minion damage, or increase or reduce spirit, which is that you can do that at your own discretion. My ring here, this is actually a ring that I got earlier for about 50 exalts. So best thing about it, of course, is the increased minion damage, item rarity, which which is handy, but like it's not what I'm looking for. It's not why this ring is great. And the 34% increased critical hit chance and elemental resistance, which is handy, I guess. Best thing about this, of course, is the minion damage. It's very hard to get that on a ring, along with all these two other minion related prefixes. Quite like that one. I'm running this just for the item rarity alone and the fire res. This could be completely replaced with something else. It's just the only downside of this build is elemental resistances. I don't really have it on lock as I should this late in, but it's the best I could do. It's just for the item rarity, really, because it's a really shit ring. It's only level 37 at this stage, which I should find something better. This is TBD, to be determined. As for my amulet, only thing that's mandatory 100% here is the +3 to all minion skills. Everything else here is complementary. Don't really need mana for this build, mana regen. Focus. My focus has +2. Only thing mandatory here again is just like +2 all minion skills. Any resistances I'm lacking on, in this case fire and lightning, I want to make up for. And then next is my helmet, which is also +2 to all minion skills. High enough energy shields. I slapped a rune on cold resistance. 33% lightning resistances. All these resistances are just irrelevant. depending on whatever your own kind of setup is. Next is my actual robe. You notice it has extremely low energy shield despite its level. I did this not knowing because I upgraded this to have as much runic ward as possible. Not knowing that it would reduce energy shield. So just keep a good mix of these two. I've kind of gone overboard. I'm kind of waiting to replace this over time, but obviously you want spirit on this. Get as much spirit as you can on any gear that has it. Gloves is more or less the same, just as much energy shield as you can get. You can't get spirit, but get item rarity if you're looking for that. The belt is just for resistances. This decree of flight, I only run these because I like the way it looks. Other than that, you can probably get something with better. That's me. Better resistances or other prefixes or suffixes that you desire, but mainly like the 30% increased movement speed is lovely to have. And then lastly, I wanted to mention the rune. The only mandatory, not mandatory, but the only like rune that I think is super beneficial and for this build is the warding rune of bodyguards, which scepter minions, scepters. On scepters, minions in your presence have onslaught when you're on low runic ward, and since you're constantly spending runic ward in order to create Verisium Manifestations, it's gonna be fairly low. Which if you have a higher capacity of ward, is kind of easier to accomplish. And what onslaught does is increases skill speed for your minions and movement speed, which is brilliant to have. Other than that, now I think what I can do is just demonstrate what the build's about. So we'll go into a map here, ideally a nice looking one. Yeah, this looks good. We'll put on any map we really would do. I'm just gonna go for a one that's not completely juiced to gills, like this. And yeah, we'll demonstrate just what the build can do. trying to find the boss as soon as I can. It's I think it's up here. Just to demonstrate the sync target. Okay. I think that's a good visualization of just what the build is like, what it's capable of. I think lastly, just wanted to say explicitly that the resistances are a problem. I'm gonna try figure something out, maybe get better belt. Other than that, that's the I don't know what to call this, the Lich Reaver Verisium Manifestations build with some curse. And yeah, just that's my demonstration.